welcome to another video. In today's lesson we will learn how to make this really pretty shawl. You can easily make the shawl without the border if you prefer, but I think it looks fantastic with the border. There is a free written pattern available on my website. I will put the link below in the description box. For this project I used Red Heart Super Saver yarn. You can substitute it for 8-ply or double knit, and I think this would be fabulous in a soft yarn as well. It would look great in a solid colour, but I myself love rainbows, so that's why I've used just about every colour in the rainbow. So I hope you enjoy this video, and let's get started on the lesson. For my project I have used Red Heart Super Saver, and I used the 7-ounce bowls. I didn't use all of them, but I did have whole ones to start with. I used bright yellow, pumpkin, hot red, shocking pink, medium purple, turquoise and spring green. The written pattern also lists how I use the colours. You will notice that they are in a certain order, but I also broke them up. Some had 1 and some had 2 rows. This is all listed on the written pattern. For our supplies we would need a yarn needle with a large eye, a pair of scissors. These scissors are available on my website. I will put a link below so you can check them out. We're going to need a crochet hook to go with our yarn. I'm using a 5.5. This is also equivalent to an eye size hook. And these tulip hooks are fantastic. They're beautiful and soft, and they don't give me any hand cramps, which is great. And we're also going to be using our yarn. So starting with our first colour, I'm going to use the yellow. What we need to do is we can use a chain 4 and join, or we can use a magic ring. I'm going to use a magic ring for this one. I know a lot of people don't like magic rings, so you can use the chain 4 and join, or a different method if you like. So what we're going to do is we're going to chain 3. And we're going to work 3 double crochets into the middle of the ring. We're going to chain 3. Into the ring again, we're going to make 4 double crochets. So this is the point of our shawl, and this will be this straight edge down here. What we need to do is chain 3, turn our work around, and into the space between this double crochet and this double crochet, so in this space here, we're going to work 3 double crochets. Into the chain 3 space, which is over here, we're going to work 3 double crochets. Chain 3. Just move that down a little bit, and then work 3 double crochets. Now coming over to this side, into the space between the last stitch and the second last stitch, so in here, we're going to work 4 double crochets. So when we work our last, so it's the 4th double crochet, we're going to change colours. So we're not going to pull through. We're going to grab our our next colour, place it on the crochet hook and pull through. If you're not changing colours, you can just continue on. So now we chain up 3, turn our work into the space between the first stitch and the second stitch, so in here between there, we're going to work 3 double crochets. Into the next space we're going to work 3 double crochets. Into the next chain 3 space we're going to work our corner, which is 3 double crochets. Chain 3 and 3 double crochets. Sorry, my yarn keeps getting stuck. Into the next space we're going to work 3 double crochets. And into the space between the last stitch and the second last stitch we're going to work 4 double crochets. So that's what it's looking like so far. And you will have all these ends to sew in, but I think changing colour, it's going to look really cute. Okay, so we're going to chain up 3. And we're going to work 3 double crochets into the space between the first and the second stitch. So into there. Into each space across we're going to work 3 double crochets. Into the chain 3 space we're going to work our corner. So that's 3 double crochets, chain 3, and then 3 double crochets. Into the next space I'm going to work 3 double crochets. Into that last space we're going to work 4 double crochets. But if you're changing colour, we just need to leave it on the last 2 loops. So that's what it's looking like so far. Just make sure I've done it right. Yep. So grabbing your next colour, mine's red, popping that on the hook, chain 3, turn around, into the space between the first and the second stitch we're going to work 3 double crochets. And just a tip, when you do your first and your last part, just make sure you've got those 4 stitches there, because just before I accidentally only did
3 stitches, and it'll throw your stitch count out, and then when you get to the end you'll only have, it'll be wrong, it won't have enough stitches. So now these ends are getting in the way. What we're going to do down the sides, it's 3 double crochets in each space, 3 double crochet, chain 3, 3 double crochet, and 3 double crochets in each space, and then 4 in that last one between our stitches. So into the corner. Chain 3. So again on the straight. Then we get to the end, in between the second and last stitch, work 4 double crochets. And after a few rows, I'm actually going to start to sew in those ends, otherwise they will be a nightmare to do at the end. So continue on until you have your shawl the size that you desire, and then we're going to start onto the border that you see at the beginning of the video. So stay tuned, and in just a sec you'll be able to see how many rows I've done.
Don't forget, if you need to know how I've put my colours, it is all listed on the written pattern that is available on my website. All the links you need are below. Altogether, you will need an odd amount of rows. I have done 33 rows altogether. So that would be 35, 37, or 31, and go back the other way.
And hands up who was going completely insane with all those ends. Me. I really don't like sewing in ends, but I do love the effect of the rainbow. So when we get to the end of that row, we want to change colour. So I'm just going to pull that out. I'm going to grab my yellow, and I'm going to use the yellow for all of the border. But you can do yours rainbow if you like. So we're going to chain up 3, and we're going to turn our work around. Then into the space like we've been doing, we're going to work our 3 double crochets. Into the next space we're going to work 3 double crochets, chain 2, and 3 double crochets into that same space. Into the next space we're going to work 1 double crochet, so in here 1 double crochet, Into the next space we're going to work 3 double crochets, chain 2 and 3 double crochets. And this is the pattern on our border, so not including this first part there, so ignore that part there. That's the pattern on our border. We've got the 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet, into the next space, 1 double crochet, and then repeat across. So our next one is a double crochet by itself. Into the next space, work your 3 double crochet, chain 2 and 3 double crochet, and we're going to repeat this all the way across until we get to the corner. So repeat this all the way across and then stop in the space just before the corner. So let's just find my corner space. I want you to, so here's our corner here, and I want you to stop just here, and then I'll show you what to do when we get to our corner. So we've got our border here, we've done our double crochet, and into the chain 3 corner space we're going to work 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet, chain 2 and 3 double crochet. Again, chain 2 and then one more time 3 double crochets into that space. Now it seems like a lot in that corner space, but what happens is as we go around the corner, and I know it does look very weird at the moment, but as we go around the corner, when we work our border, it will fan out. And if we don't do that, like any project, if you don't put enough things in the corner, instead of laying flat, it sticks up like that and looks really stupid. So what we need to do now is, I just need to organise myself so I can actually go across the other side. I love the colours on this, it looks gorgeous. And your project's probably getting quite big too, so that's why I'm struggling getting it in front of the camera. So what we need to do now, we need to imitate what we did down the other side. So we've got a double crochet there, so that's what we want to put into this space here. And my yarn is about to be sent to the naughty corner because it keeps getting stuck. Some days I have no problems, and others don't even go there. So 3 double crochet, chain 2 and 3 double crochet. Ugh. What's happening? There we go. So what we want to do is repeat this down the other side. So double crochet in one space, and then our group of 3, 2, 3 into the next one. So our next space is a double crochet, and then the next one is the 3, 2, 3. We're going to repeat this all the way across and stop before the last space because I'll show you what to do when we get up to there. Once we get to the end, we've got the double crochet and then the group of shells all together, and then on the end, oops, sorry, bashing up the camera. On the end we're going to work what we normally do with 4 double crochets in that last space there, in between the last 2 stitches. So those 4 double crochets, we're going to chain 3 and turn our work. What we're going to do now is again work 3 double crochets into the space between the last and the second last stitch. Okay, so we've got that bit. So this is basically the same as what we did on the whole shawl. It's just this little bit after this one is different. So into the chain 2 spaces on our groups of the 3, 2, 3, what we're going to do is work this again. So into that space there, we're going to work 3 double crochets, chain 2, and 3 double crochets. So you already know how to do that, it's just a matter of where we're placing it. Okay. Into the next, so into the double crochet that we did here, we're going to double crochet into the top of that stitch. So working into there, work 1 double crochet, and then when we get to the next chain 2 space, again working your 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. I'm sitting at a really awkward angle, so sometimes my stitches don't actually work. That's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. So into there, 3 double crochets. And it's about 30 degrees Celsius here today, which is quite hot. It's Celsius, not Fahrenheit. So whilst you guys in America are freezing to death, I am sweating. So into this one, a double crochet. My hands are actually sweaty. Starting to anyway, because I'm warming up. So that's looking great, isn't it? With the double crochet and the shells there. We're going to repeat this all the way across. So into our chain 2 space. That was the fridge having a moment. And there it goes again. Chain 2 and 3 double crochet. We're going to repeat this all the way across until we get to our corner, which is where we did that funky looking thing that didn't look right. So we're going to continue across, and I'll show you what to do when we get to the corner. Once we get to the corner, into the chain 2 spaces, we're going to work the 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. All into that same space. Into the next chain 2 space, we're going to do the same thing. 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet, into the next chain 2 space, again same thing. Into the double crochet here, we're going to do a double crochet and then follow the same as what we did on the other side, doing our 3, 2, 3 and our double crochet as we go along. So this is what the corner looks like. So that will get a little bit bigger as we go along, and we're going to repeat that row. I'm going to add 3 rows for my border. So I've done 1, I'm on my second one, and after that I will do 1 more, and then we're going to do the border, the border on the border. I'm going to do a little pretty little edging around here. So continue on until you've done as many rows as you would like for your border, and I'll catch up to you when we're ready just to finish that last one. After we have our 3 rows of our border, we're going to just add the little edging on. What we need to do is chain 1, single crochet into the same stitch. And we're going to single crochet until we get across to the space over there. So in each stitch we're working a single crochet. Don't work it too tight, otherwise this will make it gather up and look weird. You want it to lay flat. If you have a problem with that, just use a bigger crochet hook. So into the chain 2 space we're going to work 2 single crochets, chain 4, and then 2 single crochets back into the chain 2 space. So you may need to just shift them over a little bit. We're going to single crochet in all these stitches here. And into the chain 2 space we're going to work 2 single crochets, chain 4, and 2 single crochets back in that same space. We're going to repeat that all the way across, working single crochet in these stitches, and when we get to our top of our thing there with our chain 2 space, we're going to work 2 single crochet, chain 4, and 2 single crochet. And we're going to repeat this all the way around until we get back to the other side of our shawl. When we get to the last 2 stitches we want to single crochet. Into the last one we want to work 3 single crochets. Then we want to turn around. In each space across we're going to work 3 single crochets. Next one, 3 single crochets, and again working all the way across until we get to the other side. When we get to the end we're going to put 2 single crochets into that last stitch, and that'll just make it so that the edges lay flat. So into that stitch here, which was the first stitch that we did when we started this round, we're just going to slip stitch. Going to grab our scissors and cut off the length of yarn, about 2 to 3 inches. And then we can finish off. And you want to sew in any ends that we have left over. So I'll just do that quickly off camera.
I hope you enjoyed this project. Please share your creation on our Facebook page. I would love to see what you have come up with. I'd love to see all the colour combinations you've used, and also if you've used a plain colour, I think this shawl would look just as beautiful. So make sure you check out my website. All the links for the written pattern are in the description box. Thanks for watching, and until next time, happy crochet.